wish I had a good side. But, well, introduce yourself, but amusingly, your director's cameo got a great reaction.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, I think for people that know me, that gives a little comedic tone to one of the high tension moments, but I'm hoping that for people that don't know me, it doesn't distract.
I can promise you, every time I've seen it, and I didn't know what you looked like, yes, the drama stayed.
Perfect. Okay, good to hear. And yeah, I'm R. Scott McHenry, writer, director, producer of Sentient.
Brilliant film, brilliant work. I love that this audience truly appreciated it. It's just so well done, and you know, it's the kind of sci-fi that absolutely gets me, because it's, you know, when you at the film festival level, it's not about big budgets, it's about good ideas, and your film is just filled with great ideas.
Yeah, I think it was great execution by the whole cast and crew as well. But before I talk about my movie, I just want to say it was incredible selections, and really an honor to be, you know, a part of a great block, because yeah, I was blown away by the other 3 films we watched. So.
But you were part of it. Your film
Yes.
was a key part of it, and needless to say, you pulled off what Hollywood often fails at, which is you made a film where the non-human actor is the one that every human watching identified with, and all the humans we didn't feel for at all.
Yeah, yeah. The goal was, with the vision with the film originally, and kind of what got me excited about the script is the idea of controlling information can control action. A lot of, you know, you see it with governments and in history, the tech community with algorithms. Really controlling what people are able to see, what we watch, what information we consume, and that was kind of the idea of using the artificial intelligence and the kind of humanoid figure to portray that as kind of the victim of that, and how they basically became a puppet for those types of people. So.
And you intentionally wanted to use the idea of memory, because you start with a memory quote.
Yes.
And what would happen to an artificial life form if given memory?
Yeah, basically the memory is just a collection of every experience we've had in our life. So it was just you know, basically the memory was just supposed to represent overall access to information, because that's really where it all comes from. Is if you read something, it becomes memory. Everything you live becomes memory. So. That's how I used it.
And developing the story, that was your starting point, was information and how it's used? And
yeah,
because it really because it becomes a much bigger conspiracy sort of story and a bit of a thriller.
Yeah, I mean that was the starting point, was just thinking about how to use that sense of control of information to control action. So.
Excellent.
But yeah, it was like you said, small budget. It was definitely extremely small budget. I think total crew was only, cast and crew was less than 20 people. I think it was like 17 or 18. We shot it in a day and a half, one 12-hour day in the house to do all the action stuff, the front door scene, and then one 4-hour block in the interrogation room. So thank you to the cast. You guys did an incredible job. I mean. Yeah, I mean, we did like 30 camera setups each day, you know, and we do have about 2 takes of each one. So we did a lot of rehearsal before we got there. And yeah, there was definitely a lot of stress for the actors. It was hot. The interrogation room was a garage, so every time a car passed, we had to cut and start again. So it was real stop and go. All right, you're halfway through line. All right, reset, back, stay in character. So yeah, great job to everyone that worked on it to pull it off.
For sure, and start thinking of questions. But I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the character does commit murder, right? That actor was part of the test, and they didn't know that man was going to get stabbed to death, but he does, and they don't care, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's
I feel like there might be some commentary about pharmaceutical companies and corporations in general there.
yeah. It seems that they don't care about the little people very often. Yeah. And
There was literally no reaction from any of the scientists when a guy is brutally murdered. They just, was that an Apple TV remote?
that was one of our budgetary restrictions.
Is pause her, and they paid no attention to the dying man. They just paused her and they praised their work.
Yeah, the working class doesn't get much respect, unfortunately. But yeah, just another representation of kind of tech companies being bottom line over people. So
It's great writing and great subtext you have there. All right, I'm sure we've got hands. Someone's gonna ask one. There we go.
I was curious, it's such a tech-driven story. Your sets and props were quite period feeling, and what the thought process around what that was obviously wasn't set in a specific time, but it felt kind of dated with this backdrop of technology that was quite futuristic.
yeah, I think with the interrogation room, that was really more just a location limitation of what we can do in the space, and I want it to be kind of stripped down feeling as well in the interrogation room, just because I think it plays better bare bones to give the actors space to work and keeps the focus on the performances, which were great. And then in the house, the goal was to make it look kind of as IKEA setup as possible. I didn't want it to look lived in. I didn't want it to look, too personal to the character. I wanted it to look like it was set up to look like somebody's house more so than actually be somebody's house. So we basically took everything out of that space that it came decorated with and brought in some new stuff to just make it look like it was like a professional set and people hadn't been living in there. But we also wanted to use certain colors like red, yellow, I think it's a violent color, just to prove that or just kind of another nod that the main character is being pushed to violence through outside influence.
I was actually curious, how did the main character know to stop at that specific house?
That was just another, basically that she's programmed and doesn't know it, influence to go to that house. But yeah, kind of unbeknownst to her, just what we think is intuition could be fate or could be controlled, etc.
The film starts with a pretty awesome quote about God breathing sentience into people, and then you have kind of that bookend with the end. So I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit about, obviously this is more about AI, and what that belief mindset behind what they're doing, what's that vibe across the story?
Really, I think to me it's just the tech companies' obsession with playing God and kind of billionaires' obsession with playing God, and a lot of these things that they decide to do and pursue is driven by ego and them wanting to be creators more so than doing the right thing or doing a service to like the general public. So right, like she's not really a work bot or anything like that. He says he creates her in his image, and she wasn't created to provide a service to anyone or anything like that. She was basically created strictly out of ego to say, hey, look, we can do it.
Another hand? Nobody? Well, you might say it's up to interpretation, but is she being designed to be violent, to be a weapon? Because the person who represents the board sure was happy when she killed someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just to show that she's capable of the full range of human emotion, and historically, violence and anger are pretty pertinent emotions.
When mankind makes tools, they're tools of destruction most of the time.
Typically, yes.
I'm with you. I get you. All right, we really don't have another hand? All right, well, I'm going to add one more thing personally, which is there's a little joke in my household. My wife does watch at least half of the submissions with me because I just set up at night and watch for a couple hours every night in our TV room. And she gets tired of hearing this from me, but you are only hearing it the first time, which is, I have come to a point after, this is our 10th year, that I have to fight the urge to just judge the film entirely based on the way the font and the title is presented. And you nailed it. The way you did that red screen with the white Sentient, like, I saw that, I'm like, I know the rest of this film is going to be genius, because believe it or not, you just start paying attention to this. Go to film festivals all the time. The filmmaker reveals how much they care about their work when they show you their title.
Well, I can tell you my editor is also a big fan of font choices, so thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. That's Nathan there?
Yes.
Bravo.
That's who picked the font, so thank you.
Excellent. Well, I don't want to wear them all the time. Sentient, world premiere.
Yes, sir.
World premiere. Grand Jury Award, Best Short Film Thriller. So that wasn't given by your peers, the filmmakers board, that was given by the selection committee. So there you go,
Hey, what's
Grand
it
Jury
worth?
Award.
Yes.
It's worth something too.
Your opinion matters.